Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. And I hope that you're going to enjoy some of the ideas I'm going to play with today. I am going to explore more from our new card deck. I'm just going to grab the deck here. It's called In the Cards. And it says, we are all connected. Choose love. And so what we're going to do is we're going to play around with this 5-element wheel a little bit and just explore some of the ideas that have the Choose Love theme in it, but also have the 5-element theme, which comes from Tai Chi. And last week I explored the 5 movements that came with the 5-element set. And we went through those different movements and explored what they meant. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in a seated version, and then I'm going to expand it a little bit more. I'm going to keep it in the 5 elements: fire, earth, metal, water, wood, so you can feel what that feels like. And I hope you're going to enjoy what we're going to play with. I'm just going to share my screen. I just wanted to show you what the cards look like, so you have an idea. And if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. So we've got, over here we have the fire element, calming monkey thoughts. The red is the color, the sound is he. We have the earth element, the sound is who, color yellow, and we have spreading wings. And in this case, we're doing an owl, but it's also known as the phoenix spreads his wings or white stork spreads his wings. We have the snake here for creeping low. The sound is S. Metal element is white, silver, and gray. Then we have the water element. This, we have an opossum, and the baby opossums actually make the sound of choo, choo, choo as they're calling. So we're going to use that sound, and we've got brush knees. And then the last one is our little cricket here for the wood element. The color's green. The sound is shh. And we're going to be doing the movement from Tai Chi called the 3 pushes or grasp the bird's tail. All right, so you have a little bit of an idea of what we're going to follow within this. So I'm just going to stop my share screen there, and I'm just going to get this set up. I'm going to move backwards. I'm going to do some of the seated exercises. These ones can be very helpful for people who have, they may have limited mobility or they may have confined space. And so I'm going to just share with you how I've used Tai Chi, sometimes on a plane or in a car. I've also used it, I used it sitting on a park bench while I've been waiting for people to go by or to come and meet me. I've been out on my grass in the yard. All of these ways that I can still put movement in, even if I don't have the capability to get up and go and do something. The other thing is when we do the seated form, we learn a lot more about our body. We learn a lot about the mobility of our spine. And this is a great way for the spine to be engaged. Okay, so it's still a little bit outside of the screen. Okay, there we go. So let's start with the foot exercises. So we're just going to tap the toe down. And if you remember from before, it's lift the toe up is the accent rather than that making of the foot patterning and sounds going down. We're actually going to focus on the up and engaging that little pump in our heel to get the fluid starting to flow up through the body. One of the things I was learning this week as I was studying about the fascia and manipulation of fascia. Fascia is tissue that goes all the way through the body. It's underneath the skin, but it goes through the muscles. It holds organs in place. And when we do Tai Chi, we actually are engaging the fascia all the time. And we're also encouraging the flow of fluid. And that flow of fluid is important to the fascia because it helps to share information really quickly to the rest of the body or different systems. Let's change feet, the other side. And if you get too much fluid into an area, so I have beautiful ankles from the incredible humidity we have here right now. So there's swelling going on in my ankles. And so that's going to tighten up the tissue and it creates a denseness. And what we want to do is start to create a gentle massage that's going to pull that fascia tissue back into motion and to create the flow again. So that's what we're going to be engaging as we go through all the movements. Okay, So we've got that little piece. So now if you put your feet shoulder apart and you've got your ankles and knees are in alignment with each other, then you know you've got proper alignment there. I'm sitting well forward from the back of my chair, pushing up through the top of the head, so I've got a nice long spine, and that allows for the best rotation that I can get into my spine to engage it. And I'm just going to turn my toes one direction, and then I'm going to turn my toes the other. I'm going to move really slow because I can already feel when I get towards the end of how far I have for rotation through my lower leg, I can feel in my lower back where there starts to be just a little bit of pressure where it's as far as it can turn. So wouldn't it be interesting to know that how much you can turn your foot or your ankle depends on how open you are at the base of the spine. Interesting, isn't it? So there's this reciprocal effect that goes on. I'm just going to let you experience what that's feeling like. Okay, and bring it back to middle. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take the heels. Sorry, we just did toes. Let's take the heels this time. In parallel. Sorry, I missed that one. Okay, and then take it the other way. Now this time we have the ball of the foot on the floor, and we're doing a rotation around the ball of the foot. And that is both calming and energizing, and it switches from foot to foot. So this is actually going to create this beautiful synergy in the body, where if you've been in overdrive, then it'll create a calmness. And when the calmness is achieved, then you have this energy of flow to take you forward into your activities. Okay, so you can just feel the way the tissue is changing from where you are. We're not using our hands, which would also change the pelvis. We're just leaving them out, just so there's the link between the lower legs and the lower back can be engaged. Okay. The eyelash twisted here in my eye. I think that should get it. Okay. All right. So if we come back to the center, now we'll take the feet open. And you're just going to feel the whole hip want to let go. And I just want you to feel how the pelvis closes in the back but opens in the front. And then when you go to come in, I'm just going to adjust my heels there. There's a pull across the lower back and a closing in the front. So we've got open. Just feel that. Just let all the tissue engage with it. And then the close. You may notice that that lower back has a slightly different feel, where it was tight and pulling maybe, with the toes and the heels twisting. This may be now a little bit more even. Okay, so that would be the toes moving and we're spiraling on our heel. Now let's put the heels together, spiral again on the toe. Remember I talked about how that engages calming and energizing. So we're just going to do that nice and slow. So now you can feel the back of the pelvis closes up, then the front closes up, and then the back, and then the front. So there's this tiny little gentle massage. You think of the tissue that's inside the pelvis, you may notice that opening and that closing just start to really release. And for all of us that do a lot of time sitting, which I'm sure is the majority of us, it's important. Okay. So we got that. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have the crawl. So you've got your heel, toe, and I'm doing this really slow again so you can feel the manipulation that's happening in that lower back. Sliding the foot out, nice long pull across the toes, and then bring it back. twist, twist, twist. Slide that out, feel the long stretch, down, and then bring it back. And then long stretch. So with that tightness of the tissue on my ankles, I can feel that pull coming across. You might not notice it so much. All that extra fluid gives me a little bit different sensation on the cross. Okay, now this is going to be very helpful for me. Slide the heel out, open the back of the knee, and then give it a lift. Now you'll be able to see how clean my floor is based on the bottom of my feet. Sliding out, push, and bring it back. When I tap dance on this floor, there's a little bit of patina that comes off. I never know for sure exactly how clean the floor is. Twist. Okay, there's that slide. And one more set. Okay, we have done a lot of manipulating. You might actually really be feeling, I'm noticing down the backs of my legs, they're really feeling different. Okay, so now we're going to go ball of the foot and heel drop, which we've done before. Ball of the foot, heel drop, ball of the foot, heel drop. Just feeling that pressure onto the foot. Now that you've got that part in awareness, notice your back. So when you go to lift your leg, notice how the muscles engage to do that. Ball of the foot, and then the heel goes down. Notice how the lower back's going to adjust. Ball of the foot, heel down. Ball of the foot, heel down. Ball of the foot, heel down. Okay, we'll just do our Fred Flintstone run. Okay, that gets us started. So now I'm going to go to the cards. So fire element, color is red, sound is he the first time we do it. And this one is ward off the monkey. So we did that before. You take your right hand back, left hand comes forward, and then you bring elbows in, left palm turns up, comes down in front of the lower dantian, and the right hand pushes forward. So we have expansion. This is going to come in and sink. Expansion, comes in, sink. All right, so there's our action. So now what I want to do is add the lower body into this. So I'm going to open my right hand, so I'm going to give a little push with my left foot, but very, very small, just awareness-wise. And then I'm going to give awareness into my right foot. It's going to bring me back, and it's going to even out. And now I'm going to notice when I go forward how my back is going to extend backwards. Open. That's going to pull me up into a higher sit. Then when we come back through, this is going to line up. Left foot takes over to create a spine rotation for me. Right foot takes over, comes back, and then we're going to sink straight back. And then rotate.
Nobody's on.
Open. Hello, Pam. Come on in. I'm not sure there. I have you large and me small. So I can do a pin. If somebody else, oh, Alexis, you might be able to solve the pin for me. Just put me as large. Perfect. Good to see both of you. Lovely, thank you. So I have walked through explorations of the seated form for the warm-up and talked about the 5-element set coming from the It's in the Deck cards. And we're just now working on Ward of Monkey and awareness that comes from our positions. So if my right hand is going over to the right to go back, I'm going to put a little bit of awareness into my left foot so I can feel that rotation through my spine, and then come back to my right foot. It's going to bring me back to square. And then as my hand goes out, I'm going to try to make my spine long. And so the tailbone ends up rolling a little bit back. Not because I rolled it, it just does that as my hand goes forward. Now a little bit of awareness in the right foot. That takes us to the left. A little bit of awareness in the left foot. That brings us back to straight. And then if you just sink straight back, you'll be able to open and then keep going with the awareness. There's going to be a rise in the spine and the rotation finishes. So we're going to come back through. So we didn't get to sound yet, but I think we're in the position we could probably do it now. So if we go open, but the lungs typically fill up there, and then we're just going to say he on the way out. He. And then this is going to open, and then coming back, he. Making the sound changes the way the tissue is all functioning. It opens it up. He. So even if you think it, you can have it happen, but if you make the sound, it's even better. Comes through, we've got he. Straight out, open, he. Okay, that gives us our ward off monkey, fire element. So if we move to the earth element, that's our owl, and the sound is who, color's yellow, and that's our white stork spreads wings. So this one, I'm going to start from step up to raise hands, which is your right hand goes higher than your left, and you squeeze the arms together as they come down. So my right hand is higher than my left is across from my forearm, and as my elbows go to drop, you'll notice your whole spine will just line up, but then there's this roll again that kind of happens on the lower part of the spine, and that just gives you some length in there. So then we're going to have the right hand come down in front of the lower dantian and connect, and the left hand is going to go forward, and we're just going to fall into our feet. Our arms don't have to do anything except let us fall, and then we're going to push into our feet. The right palm goes to the floor, the hands change places, and then we're going to have a spiral that's going to happen. Turning to the left, the palm is going to come all the way around like you're turning a light bulb, and then it comes down while the left hand is wiping the table. Got to clean up the mess from the light bulb, and then this comes through, which is a brush knee, which is one of our other moves. Okay, so I know I'm facing onto you so you can see all my actions, but it's not always possible for right and left. I'll just do a little turn. So I have squeeze, right hand is higher. Then the right hand is going to come down to lower dantian. And we're just going to fall into the feet. And then we're going to go right palm to the floor, pushing into the feet. This is going to connect. Comes up, you'll notice the spine lifts. But then there's this beautiful little rotation to the left as the hand is turning. The spiral comes all the way through. We change hands as they go to the right goes to the back. And then we're just going to, a little bit of awareness into the right and then drop forward into our feet. Okay, lots going on there. So let's do it with sound this time. So we're going nice and slow. We can get several sounds in. So we have whoo, and just even getting that sound coming through the lips. It's down. Whoo. Push into the feet. That's going to roll up. And there's a nice big breath again. Whoo. Comes all the way around. Another breath comes in. And then out. Whoo. This is 4 sounds. Okay, let's try one more time. Whoo. And it comes down. Pushing it forward. Whoo. into the feet, expand, lift. Comes all the way around. And then, what you'll find with your breath is, as we get going through here, where you couldn't sustain a sound, you'll find by the time you get to the end, you have all this air, so our breath just keeps going deeper and deeper. Okay, so we're going to move to the snake. So the snake, when we're doing it in the seated form, doesn't drop down quite the same as it does when we're standing. However, we have this power that comes through the hands, and we get to explore that a bit more when we're doing the seated form. Okay, so we are, your right hand makes a cone and goes out to the side, and the left hand comes straight forward. So what's going to happen is a little bit of a lift, and then the snake, imagine as your right hand goes down into the water, it comes through, so you're going to fall into your feet. The hand comes up in front and the fingertips open, and the hands are going to trade. And then they're going to trade again. Okay, so now I know you can't see very well. My hands are blending in with all the colors in the room. Just grab my gloves. And be able to see better. Okay, all right, so you're making a cone, so you're putting your fingertips together. You can see that, all right? And now you've got a flat hand out. Okay, so what's going to happen is the tailbone is going to roll a little bit. It's going to drop. You can feel the whole expansion of the spine. This is going to come up, and as it does, the fingertips are going to open at the top, and the left hand pushes to the floor. And then we're going to change hands and push the other one to the floor. And if you notice, this gives you a little bit of a rise, and then a sink, and then a rise, and then a sink. Okay, which gives us kind of like waves on the ocean, only it's up and down, more so than forward and back. Okay, so we have, first of all, the snake part. When your fingertips come together, this is a power point. So when you put your hands out like this, you can get rid of anything that you don't want, throw it away, or you can come past lower dantian, pull on the golden thread, which is, golden pill is where you're building all your energy. So you can pull a little bit of that energy with you, and then you can creep low like the snake. And when you come up, the hand is going to turn. That opens the pelvis a little bit differently. And as the fingertips open and expand, that's like the lotus flower opening to let out the new energy. Okay? So you can have that little action. So if we come through again, here's your right hand. So you're going to snake, goes down into the grass and down into the water, comes up, the fingertips open, and then the hand stops. Okay, so we have this other hand we need to pay attention to. Okay, so I'm just going to turn myself a little bit. So my right hand is out to the side, my left hand is to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to sink down, tailbone, goes down towards the feet, and the hand, as it comes up, the left hand comes down. There's always forces in Tai Chi that are equal and opposite. So as the right hand is coming up, the left hand is going down, they're creating that opposite right there. And you'll have that going on in your spine, up through the back of the head, down to the tailbone. That same action. Okay, so this hand here goes from out here, it doesn't do very much here. It comes in, and then it just pushes down. So it goes from flat out, in, down. You recognize that pattern a lot. Happens a lot. Okay, so we have that. Now there's just two little pieces on the end that I absolutely adore because they internally massage all the organs. It's beautiful, this next little piece. So you have open the fingers, and the hand comes up. Right hand has the elbow down towards the leg. Left hand is pushing to the floor. But what's going to happen is they have to change places. To change places, the left hand pushes out, and the right hand is going to fall down. And then the left hand is going to pull up while the right hand goes out. And it starts creating this little circle. And you'll see probably my shoulders. It looks like I'm going to be moving my shoulders back and forth, but it's really the pull and the push of the arms that's creating this beautiful little cycle. All right. So now, if we were to just explore one hand, we would have the hand go out, straight, come up, line up same as your spine. So you still want to be on an angle, you want to be straight up and down. And then it's going to push down. Drops towards tailbone. You can feel that in the spine. Lengthens you out long. Up to the top. Lengthen the spine, same as your arm matches your spine. Sink. You can probably feel that going all the way through. It's going to go lifting. And then this is going to go down and push out. Okay, so now we have to put it on the other side. Okay, so challenge. Left hand goes out. Left hand comes up. You feel that line up come into the spine, and then this is going to push and drop towards the tailbone. And then this is going to go extend out. Lift it up. Push it all the way down, sink. Extend out, lift it up, push it down, sink. Now, I don't know about you watching, but for me, my right hand is so incredibly connected to my movement. I'm much more aware than my left hand. And so this is like working with a foreign piece. I can see my hand moving, but it doesn't. I don't get that same sense of connection as I do with my right side. And I'm guessing everybody else is probably very similar, just could be reversed. Could be your left hand is more predominant. I just see what Pam's going to say. Yeah, the right hand just takes over us right hand dominant people. So that's just an awareness to have that both sides are present, but our awareness tends to lean to one side over the other, and that means articulation of movement maybe not that we favor one side, but that we're going to have things that engage quicker on one side. And so what we want to do is even that out. So this nice slow movement and playing around with one hand can definitely help that. And then the awareness is the other one, because now you kind of try to lock into the left side a little bit more. Okay, so now let's get that up and down motion coming through the body. We want the inside doing this little churny thing. And that, of course, is going to be building the golden pill. So that's going to be building energy for us. Okay, so if the right hand goes forward, the left hand is pushing down. You feel the tailbone go down, and then there's going to be a lift and a drop and a lift and a drop. It just keeps rotating through, and you just kind of feel that rollingness coming off of it. So this is called, the cock stands on the left and the right. And it often is thought of as a way to check and see if you have balance. But I like to use it to create the flow of awareness through the core, but also to engage equal and opposite. Here's your equal and opposite here. They let go. Equal and opposite here. They let go. So there's that walking through that happens. Okay. So now we have to put a little bit more to it. Now we could totally leave it there, but I'm just going to play with it just a little bit, because what happens is typically we would put pressure down into the left foot while the right hand was going up. So left hand and left foot are kind of pushing down, and the right hand and the right knee come up. Your push goes down into your left foot so that your right knee can pop up. You don't want to just lift the right leg. If you try to do that, you're going to feel the twist that comes through your back. What you want to do is push, and it keeps the alignment through the spine the whole time. Okay? So we go through with the right hand, foot goes down, through with the left, foot goes down, through with the right, through with the left. Now, if you didn't want to lift your leg, you could do it as ball of the foot, ball of the foot. And that would be totally fine. It has a slightly different feel, which is also great. What's going on? And sometimes that little pumping action in the calf muscle is an important one that's needed. Okay. All right, I love that little move. Okay, back ourselves up to metal element, white, silver, gray. The sound is the sound of the snake, so it's a S sound. And we're going to do creep low like the snake, and then we're going to stand right and left. Okay? So your hand goes out, the other hand's in the cone. You've got that little bit of a drop, falling forward into the feet. This is going to come up. There's just two of them, okay? Now, on a really good day, I'm totally focused, I can breathe through all the S sound there. But you notice I ran out of air. That's my teaching body at the moment. Okay, so here we are. I'll try to engage with the breath a little bit more. So breath in, and then drop. That would be an out. Sorry, you need an S there. Breathing in. Okay, hopefully you got it. Okay, let's try it again. So here's your hand. You've got that breath in, and then sink. Take a big enough breath. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so that gets us the metal element. So then we're going to move to water. And water is the opossum, and the sound is chew. That's the sound that the babies make. And this one is brush knees. So the brush knee action, we've done before. I'm just going to turn the face the other way in case that helps with any observations. So similar to ward-off monkey, so the hand's going to come back. The other hand is coming in, and then it's going to brush down towards the knee. So we go in, and then sink. And we just fall forward onto our feet, push into the feet. That gives a little roll to the spine, which is fantastic for making micro movements and opening up where it might actually be stuck. We're coming through, sink. So the color for this one is blue. You just want to have that in focus in somewhere in the room, or think about it. Everywhere I look in this room has blue. And coming back through. Okay. Open. And then through. Okay, so that's our action. I know we've done these several times over the session, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but let's add a sound. So if we go chew, it opens. Chew, opens. Chew, opens. Chew, opens. Chew, opens. Chew, open. Chew. All right. I think you can probably get that sense of that constant back and forth. The push into the foot is constantly engaging reflexes and resetting patterns for you. You're also, as soon as you engage into the feet, engaging legs. So this is fantastic for those people who don't have enough leg strength for stairs or getting in and out of a chair. They keep trying to lean back onto the chair and use the arms to get up instead of being able to pull themselves right out. It's a great way to gain strength. And then this beautiful little spiraling action going back and forth is creating that stimulus all the way down the spine to engage the nervous system. It goes out to all the organ systems. So we're engaging everything with that little movement. Okay, the last one is our cricket. The cricket is making the sh sound. And this is for the wood element, the color is green, and it's the 3 pushes. Let's turn my chair again. Because this one we've done, you're not going to be able to see my hand there. There we go. Okay. Nope, still can't. Let me turn this way. Okay. So my hand is up. I always think of this as if you had a bird, you have like a peacock. There's the head, and here's all the tail feathers. The palm is facing towards you, and your fingertips of your left hand are going to go into the wrist of your right hand. So you've got your peacock there, and then your fingertips are just going to go right into that wrist. What you're going to do is turn the hand around so both palms can pass each other. This is going to expand everything and open. And you'll notice it creates a twist in the body, and this expansion here with the hands, that can be often, you can feel the energy kind of come past the fingertips. Okay, so we have fingertips into the wrist, turn the hand, pull it past, creates a spiral, and then you're going to bring the spiral back to the center, so the palms go together. This is going to go forward into the feet, push into the feet, and the hands are going to let go. Elbows stay down, or he's going to fall into the feet again. I'm going to finish with a whip to one side. This comes in, goes to the left hip, over to the right hip, and then you'll recognize that whip. There's your right hand with the fingers together and down, and this is going to come through. Okay, so if we do that again, we have fingertips into the wrist, turn the hand, expand. Palm to palm, closes. Open the hands. And then 2 hands are going to go out, expand. This comes in over to the right, left hip, comes across, whip to one side, and spiral out. Okay. So our little cricket is going shh, which the cricket started last night. The temperature's been dropping at night, and so the crickets are out there buzzing their wings again. Okay, so we have forward, shh. This is going to open and expand, breath in. Shh. Open the hands. 2 hands are going to go forward. Shh. Comes back to the hip, breathing in. Shh. Okay, so let's do it one more time. We've got shh. Expand. Shh. Expand. 2 hands go up. Shh. Comes back. Shh. Okay. All right, so we have walked through fire, earth, men, water, wood, which is our nurturing cycle, and we created a whole nurturing pattern. I did it seated, so you could get a little bit more exploration through your spine, and also a little bit finer feelings about some of the movements. But I'm sure you'll be happy to stand up. So let's come off the seat. If you want to stay seated, you're more than welcome to do that. And what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to put these movements together a little bit, but let's do it in our Tai Chi set. All of the movements are in the set, so I think as I walk through, you'll probably be fine. I'm going to turn around, face the other way, and I think you see more of the floor, a little bit missing my head. So I'm just going to come up a little bit. Here we go. That'll do. Okay, so our commencement starts us off, so our feet are shoulder width apart. And an expansion, a nice big breath in, and then let it go. And then we're going to turn to the right with our right foot and our right hand. Let the left heel go. Hold the ball so the left hand comes under. And then you step to the corner with your left. This is called left grass bird's tail. And now here comes the 3 pushes. Hold the ball, step with your right foot, and we go fingertip, push back, palm to palm, open up, 2 hands, hands back, and here's our whip. So we turn the whole right side around, comes past the left hip, goes out to the front, and you've got your whip. Okay, now we're going to step up to raise hands. So you're going to turn your toe, put your heel out. Your hands are going to come down and squeeze, opening your spine. Foot, your right hand goes down to your belly. Turn the foot, and then expand forward, same as we did on the chair. Right hand goes to the floor, left hand goes to the floor. There's our spiral. So that is wake stork spreading his wings. Place the left foot and go brush knee. And now we finish with the brush knee sequence. Half a step, heel goes out. This is called strum the peipa, play the Chinese guitar. Now we do 3 brush knees. We go brush knee left, twist step, brush knee right, twist step, brush knee left, half a step, open the left heel, sink, open, brush knee left. Okay, you hold right there. I know I'm running out of room. Okay, the close to this is hold your flowers to the left, step turned out with your right, bring in a fist, send it out, wipe the sleeve and bring it back, step through, and this is a punch. I'm going to wipe the sleeve, 2 hands. This is going to come up and around, left, right heel, sink, and it crosses over. And that gives us the 17 moves from the 108 Tai Chi set. And we have pretty much all the moves in there, except the closing the entrance, the last little piece. And there's not a snake in the first 17, so we don't have the movement that we practiced, but the rest is all in there. Okay, so that gives you a good sense of how the movements can all flow together. Let's just finish off with a couple rotations. So we're just turning the hands. These are foundations. So once you're warm and the tissue's been manipulated and blood circulating, then you can go in and you can change the tendon and the muscle relationship, but also the fascia relationship. And at the very beginning today, we talked about when fluid becomes dense and the fascia gets dense and tight, and how Tai Chi can loosen that up and create the flow. So these hands turning here, create that in your arms, through your wrists, your hands, but also through your feet, through your spine, through your neck. Okay, and then you can let that come down. And then if you turn from the shoulder, you can have this one, which would be the same as turning from your hip. You can stand relaxed on top of your legs. So just letting that come through. So oftentimes this is a good alternative. People's arms get tired doing the other one. You come back up to here and then just turn. For people that haven't done this move before, often their forearm gets really heated up and you find a block in the arm quite quickly. And that tells you just where energy might not be flowing all the way to the fingertips. And so when it starts to get to be a little bit too much, then you can just let it go and then go back to rolling from the shoulder and make that turn come through there. And that'll just let everything improve in flow. And we'll just come back up and then let it turn. Just see here, Pam's got beautiful. Pam's doing this every morning. Yeah, this is really wonderful. It's so simple. Just rotate the hands. So simple. Lying in bed is very interesting. When I finished, I had surgery and I couldn't really do very much. I could move my feet, I could move my arms. And what I did was these arm rotations lying in bed. And I could manage to do that without moving any other part of my body, which was great. And then I did the foot exercises with my feet. And about every 10 minutes, I would go back and do a few more. And just everything just started to really waken up. It was really quite interesting to experience that. So, and I'll just let you pull that down. Thank you, Pam. I just wrote that. I'm inspired. I just have lots of stories. I have lots of stories of recovery. So always something to improve on. Okay, let's just add in this little one. It's similar to standing on the left, standing on the right, but it's going forward instead of backwards. So the other one was pulling this way. This one actually goes forward. So it changes the wheel a little bit. Perfect. And this one is awesome. When you're kind of standing out on the deck and you haven't got anything else to do, you're just kind of enjoying the view. Just put in a few of these and just let it rotate. You may notice your shoulders and your hips want to move. Sink down into your feet and just let the fluidity of the movements just kind of come through the joints. It's just very gentle massage. We're really opening up energy that comes through the shoulder blades. And for anybody who works with heart center, this is actually opening up all the way through the heart center. Lovely. Okay. As Paula would say in her workshops, let's just finish with a few hearts. So if this isn't Tai Chi, but it feels good. So let's just bring the hands up to the top. Just open them all the way around at the top, bring them and just sink. And when you come down, to bring the hands together to the point at the bottom for the heart, just sink down into your feet. Use your small donu. That would be your drop all the way through the spine. And then one more. Let that come up. It feels like it wants to expand even bigger. And let that come back down. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I hope you're enjoying the way that the movements come together. Go ahead, Pam.
Did you say that last one wasn't Tai Chi?
No. No. I think it comes from Eden Energy Method, but Paula Nowak does it always in her webinars. So I just love it. And she does it across the face.
Oh.
She does it around the core of the body. Then she does the whole body.
I like that.
Yeah. I use it if I'm tracing meridians, so tracing energy lines. And sometimes I'll throw, I have the kids, I say kids, because usually I'm working with dancers, but looking into the mirror and saying, I love you to themselves. And then I'll often finish that with a heart. So
nice. Can you mix them all together, Tai Chi and all this? Is that too confusing?
Well, it ends up, it's all the same in the end. You just start to find the ways that they kind of weave together with each other. I just like to identify if it's a movement that comes from another discipline or something, just to make sure people know where it does come from, in case you want to study it or a little bit. Yeah.
makes you feel good. Like, and we're getting such hot weather. We would have been outside, but it's so hot. It's almost being like 90, but 100-degree index or so. So we're getting the next couple of days, a lot of summertime.
Yeah, I had to close all the windows because I went upstairs and it was like, oh my gosh, it was like being in a shower. Yeah, it's just sucked right in. Yeah. But you're right. You have to embrace that bit of summer, right? Because then we'll be all saying when the snow.
It's just 80, so that's really hot for us, really, for just being like 70 at night. That's hot,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this is good. Gets our day going, and just like I said, I do this a lot. I was telling Alexis too the other day. I went walking, and I walk often. And there's other people that are walking, and they're probably looking at me. I was doing one of these. I was stretching. I was doing my movement, and they're probably saying, "What is she doing?" And I'm like, "But it felt good to be walking and the movement with the hands, because sometimes your hands are either just hanging there or they're just, So it felt good to get them moving to whatever.
And I find too
doing.
Sometimes humidity, or even just if I'm walking a long distance, the blood goes down into my hands and they just swell up. It just can't seem to get back to the rest. And so sometimes just having that little addition is enough to get the pump going the correct way. Yeah.
Instead of letting them hang. I know people, do that because they jog or they have them going this way. But that wasn't comfortable. And I didn't want to, like you said, just have them hanging there. So it was nice just to kind of move them.
Yeah. When you're saying about people were watching you, and I've done Tai Chi, I had the courage. Took a while to build up enough courage because everybody's going to be looking at you. But in the airport, back when there would be lots of people in the airport, but I would try to go find a space off where nobody was. And then I just start doing Tai Chi, and you'd see people reading their books and they'd continually be looking up, and then they'd start to shift in their chairs. And I know for many people, they'd like to be, I wish I could stand up and do that. I know that runs through a lot of people's heads because they don't know how. So I always like to try to introduce the fact that, it's okay to be doing that. And then the airport started adding the yoga rooms. Now, I don't know if they'll be open now, but a great place, right? And with windows, so people can see people are exercising. They're not just sitting in that chair waiting for their next flight or whatever. Yeah.
I was just going to say, that's a great thing. Bring your business to airports. People are sitting there. Sometimes they're delayed an hour and they're sitting there. But if you're doing some Tai Chi in your chair, wow, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Especially if you got a long flight ahead of you, right? And then lots of people never get up to stand in the aisle and get that blood pumping. So, yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Do you ever do that when you're on an airplane? Start just doing your movements while you're sitting in your chair?
And one time we did, I was my teacher's training for Touch for Health. We were in Vancouver, and they had a marathon that was running in the same area we were, but all the people from the marathon were getting on the plane to fly back to Alberta where we were heading. And so we just finished all these techniques on how to repair, right? So we have all these runners and they're lying on the chairs across, and they're just all devastated. And we went, we know how to do this technique that may help you. And we had like 30 people all in the area waiting for the flight. And we were doing foot rubs, and we were sharing how to do switches and rub the gates. Anyway, it was a riot. And then when we got on the plane, one of the girls, she stood up in the plane and turned around. She said, I know how to help balance you so you're not going to have jet lag when you get to your next destination. Anybody want to do it? And it was all these heads went down. The people that didn't want to participate. She said, well, whoever wants to participate, I'm going to do it anyway. And the way she went, and a balance for time of day is like rub your ears and not too many, nothing too outrageous. Anyway, it was so fun. We got off the plane, and all of these runners were like, I could do this, instead of, oh man, I just ran that marathon. It was really fun. Yeah.
Powerful stuff. Like you said, it's easy, but people think like, oh, I don't have time for that. That's not going to help me. And it's like, I really can.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I need to rest. Let me lie back on my tailbone, close off that pump off the spine.
And then keep on, after you engage it for so long, and then it's like, 0 to 60, it's like, you can't do that. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. This is awesome.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. It was good.
Of course.
And
talk to you later.
The opening piece, I shared the cards. So that's right on the front so people can actually see the cards. So yeah.
That's
You're
amazing.
excellent.
Oh,
Okay.
Michelle, I just want to take class with you every day. Talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.